The IRS is awful at a lot of things. We know this, but evidently they are also awful at the very thing they are supposed to be good at, catching tax cheats. And here's one among them. This is Ian Hosang. He tricked the IRS into approving not one, not two, not 10, but 76 fake charities, all of them with the same address. For example, he created the American Cancer Societies of Michigan, Detroit, Green Bay, along with the United Way of Ohio. All of these charities had the same P.O. box in Staten Island, New York, along with dozens of other fake charities, all back to that same fake address. Earlier this year, we warned you that tax season would be a mess. Here's a quick refresher from our segment back in April. So let's review. The IRS says they can't keep up this year. It will be worse than last year. They can't hire all the people they need. Turns out we were right. More than 20 million tax returns are currently backlogged. When you call for help, the average wait time is half an hour. That's if an agent even answers your call. Evidently, only 10% of calls are answered by agents, and 300,000 identity theft victims will have to wait another year for action. We did discover the IRS is really good at collecting one thing. That's civil penalties. They brought in $37 billion last year. That's $6 billion more than last year. Tax expert Ryan Ellis has been published in the New York Times, Washington Post, and Wall Street Journal, joins us now. You'd think with all those billions in civil penalties, they'd be able to catch some guy or write a computer program with 76 fake addresses and find that, huh?
Well, you know, I think any kid with Excel or Google Sheets could probably do a program that could find the same P.O. box 76 times. It's a little unusual that the IRS computer system is so bad that they can't even manage to do that. They can't even manage to find that base level of fraud. So the question then becomes, if they can't do that, how are they possibly going to be expected to hire all these new auditors that the Democrats want to hire, to go into your small business, go into your family business and ask, tell me about this deduction, tell me about this receipt? They can't do basic things like answer the phone. They can't do basic things like police one P.O. box being used 76 times for obviously fake charities. It's an absolute joke, Leland.
I'm interested how you can be so bad at something. For example, 46% of approved applicants weren't qualified under the law as charities, yet you're able to administer all of these civil penalties. Are you good at one and bad at the other?
Well, they're really good at sending scary letters. I think most of your viewers have probably seen at least one scary letter from the IRS. It always has that really scary kind of font that looks like it was done off of a dot matrix printer from 1985. And it scares you. And it says, well, all you got to do is just send us $500 and this goes away. Or you can do this very complicated series of back and forth correspondence with us, and you may have to go to tax court. And they have very threatening language, but there's always an out. They're usually the bottom of page one of these scary letters you get. Just pay us $500 and this all goes away.
Is there a desire by the IRS to get any better?
Not that I've ever seen. I've been an IRS enrolled agent, which means that doesn't mean I'm part of the IRS. It means I prepare people's taxes. I've been preparing people's taxes as an IRS enrolled agent for a little over 20 years now. And I have not seen any evidence that they want to get better. I see them getting through whatever congressional testimony they need to get through. The more money you throw at it, it doesn't get better. It's good money after bad. I will say that the 800 number has never been worse. The backlog has never been worse. That is worse than before.
Well, the flip side, we all love to hate the IRS, and I'm sure you don't have any clients who like to cheat on their taxes, but there's a lot of people who do. There's got to be somebody to enforce these laws. What makes them so particularly bad at what is an important job?
I think they're focused on the wrong things. For one thing, the IRS needs to start to think of itself more as a customer service agency than as an enforcement agency. Most taxpayers do not have a desire to cheat. Most taxpayers want to pay the taxes that they owe legally. So that means you have to be much more of a customer service oriented agency. Answer the phone. Be a little better about getting to correspondence in a timely way. Don't have these backlogs of tax returns. If you do that, they will then find that clears up a lot of resources to go after these bad guys. This guy up in New York who did 76 phony charities is not the norm. But the reason they didn't catch him is because they were doing such a bad job of customer service with thousands of other taxpayers. If they can fix that, then they'll free up the resources they need to go after the few bad apples like this guy.
Yeah, incredible that he created this. You know, you can't be the only one. Hey, Ryan, it was always good to see you. Thank you. Customer service and the IRS are two things that may not ever belong in a sentence, but you managed to get us there. We appreciate it.
Anytime.
All right. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.